While we have another moment, let's send it down to Jimmy Roberts. Jimmy.
Dan, thanks so very much. You know, there are certain things that we know and repeat about this tournament every year. For instance, aside from the U.S. Open, we know that this is the oldest continuously contested professional event in American golf. We also know that it's got a long and distinguished list of champions. But for the last 3/4 of a century, there's been another story. It's a great one. And once again this year, it continues. There are 32,000 undergraduates at the University of Illinois. In many ways, Mark Abtahi is nothing more than totally typical.
I am currently just focusing on being a civil engineer right now. I'm taking a lot of math classes and a few introductory engineering courses.
That Abtahi is here at all is equal parts good fortune and hard work. But however you explain it, he is anything but typical. The youngest of 3 boys, Abtahi grew up in a house where his parents instilled in their children an understanding.
You must go to college, you know, higher education is very important for my parents.
The Abtahis scrimped and saved and borrowed and made sure that's exactly what happened for their oldest 2 boys. But when Ali and Monad, immigrants who'd met at college here in the States, both lost their jobs, the American dream seemed aptly named for their youngest child. Nothing more than a dream.
You feel like your kid now, they need you, and this is the time you cannot help them. It was really hard.
But there was a hedge. Since the age of 13, Mark had been a caddy at Park Ridge Country Club outside Chicago. What began as a way to help with family expenses, Mark soon came to realize was actually an opportunity in disguise. In 1930, golfing great Charles "Chick" Evans started a program which sent 2 caddies to college. Over the next 8 decades, an astonishing 10,000 more would follow in their footsteps, thanks to the Evans Scholars Foundation. This year, the Western Golf Association had decided to give out a record 239 grants. And then, while hardly anyone was looking, last year at Crooked Stick, Steve Stricker changed the math. His ace meant that, thanks to BMW, 1 scholarship would be added, and it was designated to Abtahi, a freshman at Stricker's alma mater.
It's lucky to make a hole-in-one. It's lucky it turned into such a positive thing in this young kid's life.
Receiving Evans has not only made my life easier, but has helped my brothers and my parents. Before I left, I wrote a quick message to my mom saying, like, you know, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to try my best
To make you and Dad proud of me. I love both you very much, and I don't know what I am going to do without you. Your loving son, Mark Amir Abtahi.
So, yeah, I'm trying my best to let them be proud of me.
Another great story, Mark Abtahi. As we said, there are some 10,000 Evans Scholars alumni out there. They're in all walks of life, and as a matter of fact, next year when the BMW Championship heads to Denver and Cherry Hills, the general chairman himself, he's an Evans Scholar as well. We've got live golf coming up for you about a half an hour from now. Going to step aside, but on the other side, we'll come back and take a look at some more of those great highlights from Jim Furyk's 59.
This was just earlier during these playoffs. We have seen hole outs. We have seen all sorts of low scores, a 59, and then just earlier at the 210-yard par 3 17th, Hunter Mahan.
Yeah, I said this is a very easy hole occasion. Try where the ball wants to end up.
And it ends up in the bottom of the cup for an ace for Mahan to get to 7 under. Give me a little love, he says. Gets him to 6 under on the day with the par 5 18th left, and Hunter Mahan coming up to retrieve that souvenir. And And BMW is also continuing a great tradition of pledging an Evans Scholarship worth $100,000 in honor of a player to make an ace. Last year, it was Steve Stricker who made the ace at the 6th at Crooked Stick, which enabled Mark Abtahi to cash in on that scholarship. And a lucky recipient, well, is going to be another Evans Scholar with another scholarship thanks to Hunter Mahan acing the 17th.